Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, Patronosaurus Reads. I'm Katie, aka Patronosaurus, and I read. Today I'm going to give you a book haul that I wasn't planning on doing because I wasn't planning on buying any more books until I moved into my new apartment. But here we are. I just wandered into a Barnes & Noble just to look. I told myself just to look. And then they had this sale where like bestsellers were 50% off, and there were a lot of books that I wanted, and I was like, well, I'm never gonna get them this cheap, so I bought them. I did get 4 books at Barnes & Noble for like $50, which is awesome. And then I also went to Half Price Books because then I was already in it. I was in the book buying frenzy, so I went to Half Price Books and bought 4 more books there. So I have 8 books to show you today, which I know is not a massive haul, but that is way more books than I usually buy at one time. And I'm not going to be doing hauls often on this channel, so I figured when I have them, I might as well show them to you. So let me show you some books. The first book I bought today was Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, which looks so much like Aurora Rising. Like, did the same person design these covers? Because it looks so similar. I know this is also a sci-fi about some kind of like flight school. I think the main character wants to be a pilot in the like space army or something, but her father has some kind of bad reputation, or he like messed up a mission or something, so the people there don't trust her, and she's trying to earn their trust so she can become a pilot because that's her dream, I think. I've never read a Brandon Sanderson book, and I feel like this is probably not the best way to get introduced to his work because it's young adult and it's sci-fi. He doesn't write a lot of young adult, and he doesn't write a lot of sci-fi. I know most of his stuff is adult fantasy, but I don't know, maybe it'll be a good introduction, or maybe I'll read this and be like, wow, I really like it, and then try to read his other stuff and not like it, or the inverse where I don't like this, but I might like his other stuff. I don't know. I saw it on the sales table and I knew I had to get it. So I did. The next book I got at Barnes & Noble is this monstrosity, which is what I said to the cashier when I checked out. Like, she was like, oh my gosh, that's on the sales rack? And I said, yeah. And it rang up for $16. And she was like, I need it. For $16, like, I can't beat that. And I was like, yeah, I agree. Keep it in the back of your head for the end of your shift. So Prior to the Orange Tree is about dragons and female-female relationships. And it's a standalone fantasy, and that's all I know. Also, okay, everybody freaks out about this cover. I think it's ugly. Like, I get that it works thematically with, like, what the book is about, like, orange tree, dragons, like, it suits the book. I just think it's really ugly. So, unpopular opinion time. This book cover is ugly, and I hope that they repackage it for the paperback and it's prettier, because I don't like this one. Okay, the next book I bought today was King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. Have I read Six of Crows and Cricket Kingdom yet? No. Did I know that I want to own this book? Yes. So, of course I bought it when it was half price. Isn't it? I think it's pretty under the dust jacket too. Oh yeah. Look at that. Shiny. I have heard very mixed reviews, or like middling reviews. Like, I don't know if I've seen anybody give this book anything other than a 3-star, which is disappointing because I love Nikolai so much. But maybe now that I like go in with lower expectations, maybe that will make me enjoy it more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm gonna read this eventually, just like I'm gonna read Six of Crows eventually, so I thought I might as well buy it while it was super cheap. And the final book that I got at Barnes & Noble today was the Try Guys book, the title of which I'm not gonna say. I loved watching their behind the scenes videos about this book, and I'm really excited to see kind of how their experiences of the different things that they have tried, specifically for this book, helped them and changed them, because they have said on their channel a couple times that a lot of the things really made a difference in their lives, so I'm excited to read this. Okay, and I'm going to tell you about the 4 books that I got at Half Price Books today, which, by the way, I, like, never buy books full price. Like, I like I said, I was fully intending to just browse around Barnes & Noble today, and it was just because they had this huge 50% off sale that I bought anything. But I do buy most of my books from half-price books if I'm buying in person, or I order from Amazon, which is usually less than list price, and I know that Amazon is like a giant behemoth of a company that's going to destroy the free marketplace by having a monopoly on everything. But the books are cheap, and I don't have a lot of bookstores near me. Like, I just happen to be meeting a friend for lunch today, like 45 minutes away, and that's where the closest big bookstores are to me. And I'm about to move somewhere even smaller, where bookstores are even further away. So, love that for me. Okay, the first book I got at Half Price Books was A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer, which I was kind of surprised to see this because this is a pretty new release, and they do have new releases there that publishers send them to have at a slightly discounted price, so it's usually 20% off of the market price that that book would be sold anywhere else. But this was not in that section. This was just in the regular, like, these books have been sold to us section. So somebody read this and I guess didn't want it. So this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. This is a book that has been floating around BookTube a lot, and I have seen good reviews and I've seen like bad reviews, so I really don't know what I'm going to think of this. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie. I love Beauty and the Beast retellings. I know lots of people feel like they're overdone and they're tired of them, but I'm not. I will never be tired of them as long as they're done well. If it's not done well, then obviously I'm not going to like it. But I'm really excited to read this, and I think, who was it, G from Book Roast? She read this for, I think, the Owls in April, and she said that a lot of it is like really quick dialogue, that it goes like boom, 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 and so even though it's kind of a chunky book, it reads really fast, and I really like that when I can read a long book really quickly because it makes me feel really accomplished, so I'm excited to get to this. The next book I got was The Female of the Species by Minnie McGinnis. I love like teen girl revenge books. Like, I've realized that's a very specific genre that I really like. Like, I have The Nowhere Girls, but I haven't read it. I've read Sadie and loved it. I know that this is in that vein, and I think this is the first book that I heard about that was kind of in that like subgenre. So I'm really excited to read this. This is about a girl who's, what happens? Her sister was murdered and the killer walks free, and I think she like goes around and kills people who commit violent acts against women. And there are like some other people at her school that somehow get involved. I don't totally know what this is about, but I know that it's usually hard for me to read like hard-hitting contemporary because it is just difficult for me to get through. But this type of book where someone is taking back their autonomy and their energy and really fighting back against negative forces in their town, in their lives, at their school. I really like those kinds of books, and this is the one that sparked my interest in that kind of book, so I'm really excited to see what I think of it. The next book I got today was The Spellbook of the Lost and Found by Moira Fowley Doyle. I'm not going to edit in how many times I messed up saying her name. It's just, it does not trip off the tongue well. This book is set in Ireland. It's about a small town where things start disappearing. At first it's really small things, just like a deck of cards, your house and car keys, like blah blah blah, and then bigger and bigger things start disappearing, and I think even people start disappearing, maybe. And then these three girls find this spell book that is the key to returning all of the things that have been lost. This feels very witchcrafty, but I feel like it might be more magical realism than actual like magic, which is exciting. I don't read a lot of magical realism, and when I have, it's usually been like adult literary fiction, and I hated it. So I'm excited to see how this will turn out. Side note, I don't usually love actual human beings on the covers of books, like photographs. I usually think they're ugly, but this cover is really beautiful. Is it pretty underneath? No, it's just a book underneath, but still, it's a pretty cover. Last book I got today. Okay, listen, guys, every time I go to Half Price Books, I look for a copy of this book. I talked about this in my Unpopular Opinions book tag, which I will link down below, and there, wherever it is, if I can figure out how the cards work, which I haven't when I've been editing videos before, so we'll see if this is the time. But I look for this every single time, and I have not found it until today, and I was like, oh my god, I need this book. It's my favorite L.J. Smith book. It's The Forbidden Game. It's so good. Okay, I'm just gonna read the back because I don't want to give away too much, but I also don't want to not tell you enough. It's, oh god. Okay. The tagline: mystery, danger, seduction. When Jenny buys a game for her boyfriend Tom, she finds herself inexplicably drawn to the guy behind the counter. There's something mysteriously alluring about Julian's pale eyes and bleached blonde hair, and when he places the game into her hands, she knows their connection is something deeper. But as Jenny and her 6 friends begin to play the game at Tom's birthday celebration, a night of friends and fun quickly turns into a night of terror and obsessive love. Because the game isn't just a game. It's the 7 friends' new reality, where Julian reigns as the Prince of the Shadows. One by one, the friends must confront their phobias to win the game. To lose the game is to lose their lives, and that is only the beginning. And that truly is only the beginning, because this is a bind-up of all 3 books in this trilogy, and that's really only the synopsis for the first book. Each one of the books is only like 250 pages. They're super short, so this whole series, I mean, conceivably, I could read this in one day. Like, I could start this as soon as I'm done filming and finish it before the end of the day. And it's like 2 p.m., 3 p.m.? I don't know what time it is. Hey, Alexa, what time is it?
It's 2:44 p.m.
I was right. So this is absolutely the best L.J. Smith series, and it's only a trilogy, so it's really short. Like, the Night World series is super long. The Secret Circle and Vampire Diaries are kind of long. But this one and what's the other one? Dark Visions, I believe. Yeah, this one and Dark Visions are both only trilogies, so you get this whole story like really compact because her writing style is just like really quick, really fast, descriptive without being overly descriptive. Like, I know L.J. Smith her books are kind of trashy, and I know that the TV shows based off of her books are super trashy, but I love them so much. This book series is so good. I've not seen anybody talk about these books on YouTube, so if you've read these, please, like, let's talk in the comments, just, like, what you think. I hope you love it. I would love to gush about it, but if you don't like it, that's okay. Let's have, like, a conversation about criticism and art and stuff. Okay, yeah, I love them. Okay, that was my haul. Don't expect to see very many of these on my channel, and definitely don't expect to see one soon, because I try to have self-control and not buy 8 books in one day. But to be fair, this was like $85 for 8 books. So I feel like I did some good wheeling and dealing today. But yeah, those are my books. I just looked down at my giant pile of books that I now have to pack separately, even though I packed all of my books that I already had here before. I think that's why I bought so many books, because having no books in my apartment is sad. I couldn't handle it. Okay, all my social medias are down below in the description. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. That's what YouTubers say. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.